Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Brickwork Podcast. I have Travis Dodge with me. He is the founder and CEO of BIMQuote Corporation. How you doing, Travis?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Well, let's start this off and tell me about BIMQuote, Custom Home AI, and kind of what led you to starting both companies.
Yeah, I think my background is a little bit important and kind of how I came to the idea of BIMQuote. So I'll speak on that, and then I'll tell you why we started BIMQuote and why we started Custom Home AI to kind of feed into it. So, my dad was a residential commercial contractor. I grew up doing that work. There's pictures of me kind of 3, 4 years old, swinging hammers into like real wood, and summers kind of managing small crews and building houses and multifamily projects and all of that. Kind of planning to take that on and run the thing. And then, I went to college right when the housing market crashed. And that was actually a great opportunity to be an intern, because they had gotten rid of a lot of people. And if you could, do some work for $12 an hour, then it was like as much work as you could handle, right? And so I realized that that's great work, but it probably wasn't like the best way to do me, and so I was doing a bunch of networking, and anyway, it's kind of one thing led to another. I ended up starting a company in college that was actually like a product company. And that's when I first started interacting with 3D modeling software and just the tools and the scale of designing a product and selling, 1,000 from a weekend worth of work versus a bridge that's going to take you 6 years to design and 20 years to go, or a house, right? And I ended up really, when I graduated with bachelor's in civil, master's in mechanical, and like an MBA. And I got into product design. I worked for the largest building products manufacturers in the country, just kind of patent after patent after patent. And I got to really see just the optimization of that process and understand manufacturing. And I was still always thinking about home, like, gosh, how do you get this technology to residential construction? And as I went from, construction to civil engineering to product design, I realized that, there are potentially 70 different companies involved on a single home. If you think about the general contractor and all of his subs and all of his subs providers and potentially the manufacturers feeding into that, and just organizing them for a project the way you do for a school or a stadium is like impossible. And I kind of came to the conclusion that if it was ever going to reach this part of the market, someone would have to do it on behalf of everyone to the project team, like a third party. And that was the impetus for BIMQuote. It was really like, at first I thought about doing this thing as like a non-for-profit, just like coming in and saying, hey, here's this technology, let's get the whole team together, and then optimizing the process, because D.R. Horton is going to have it, and Toll Brothers are going to have it, and all these big guys are going to have it. But these small businesses, which comprise 88% of the market, will never have it. And so that's kind of what it started from. And that was BIMQuote, right? And so we sort of completed the mission of what BIM could do for residential. And then we started plugging in all of these features: project management software, visualization software, QuickBooks is integrated now. So these guys have accounting software. And then, to be a BIMQuote customer, you had to have the land and you had to have plans, because we invest in the model on the front end and then distribute them across the entire project team. Right. So an owner can come on with plans. We can assign it to a GC, assign it to a subs, assign it to the material provider, and organize the whole project. And we were getting these really bad plans from people, and people, they're going on all of these plan websites and thinking they were getting sort of site specific engineered plans for $5,000, and they were done. And we're like, hey, those aren't structurally engineered. They don't meet your site. They don't meet the energy code of this part of the country. And it got so frustrating that we were like, you know what, we need to fix this. What if we turn all of the scripts and all the modeling tools into a consumer product and allow people to create these plans and create the models? And that was the impetus for Custom Home AI, right? And so now we've got this consumer process where, like, my mom or my daughter can go on and create a better architectural output that's costed than anyone, I mean, than sort of a trained residential architect. And so that was that. And what had happened with BIMQuote and Custom Home AI is we were sort of focused on owner builders, small custom home builders. And when we developed Custom Home AI, all these small spec builders started showing up. Like, gosh, this is going to make our job so easy. And that's when we found out in a real way about the lot shortage in the country. Because it was like, gosh, you guys have all these subcontractors we can pull from. You're getting us all these material discounts. We have the architectural engineering here. We just need lots and we can go. And, 3 weeks goes by, they're looking for a lot. 3 months goes by, they're looking for a lot. We started just tying into it. And, we find that the lots are selling 3 times their assessed value. They're selling hotter than the hottest housing market. And so we got into doing land development. And I think that's when we bumped into each other.
Absolutely. So there was a lot to unpack there. So let me try to do that. First off, brilliant idea. I'm glad you guys started this, because as soon as we spoke and I kind of understood what you guys are doing, I was like, yeah, exactly. It needed to happen. I'm glad you're starting it. And it's such a huge market that requires this. So I'm, keep pushing forward, but let's go back. Okay, so for our, a lot of our user base are real estate agents and brokers. We tend to, they're the tip of the spear. They're trying to make things happen, right? They're trying to get owners and developers excited about property, and they're the ones going out and farming for that, right? So they definitely,
yeah, absolutely.
But then they might not have the background in development, in architecture, and civil structural engineering. So this might be new to them, but also I think this is an avenue for them to also use this tool to be helpful for their clients as well, right? All the way.
100%. I mean, like, we live in downtown Tacoma now, and we were looking. We have a close friend who's like the realtor on Bainbridge Island, and the hot housing market, houses are selling, 35% over asking over there.
I was just in Seattle, by the way. I know you don't know that, but I was there for like 2 weeks, and first time there or second time there, took family. Amazing. But crazy.
This time of year. Yeah. This time of year is perfect.
Yeah.
But like, I called him and I'm just like, man, you must be just crushing it right now. And he's like, actually, I put in 9 offers he's the realtor. That's where people were going to. My clients. And not a single one was awarded, because out of state and all these sort of other buyers are purchasing these things right from under these guys. And it gave me an idea, and I went ahead and kind of followed through with it. Is we created an affiliate program. So it's like, hey, if you sell these guys a piece of land, we'll give you 3% of all of the revenue that goes across the new construction project through our platform on BIMQuote.
Oh, wow.
So we've actually kind of tried to get these realtors to say, hey, and the other thing is the market is so crazy right now.
It is so competitive.
Houses, I mean, like, these houses are listing 30% over their value. They're going 30% over asking for that. And if you build your own home or you have it built, there's kind of no way you don't have at least 20% equity in this thing by the time you're done.
Agreed.
So we're just trying to coach people and say, hey, it will take a little bit longer. It's not quite as easy to build a home on vacant land as it is to buy one. But some of these people have been putting offers in for 1.5 years.
Patiently.
So so it's like, hey, you're buying this house and maybe it needs $80,000 worth of work or something to make it yours. And this is a way to get what you want, where you want it.
Agreed.